and welcome to episode 7 of Literarily Dead.
Woo!
Woo! We're finally here after 2 weeks, because Amanda and I have been really busy between her in grad school, and I've been fucking sick the entire week. I've been in and out of work. I've had, the worst fever.
No, it was Henry's birthday.
Oh, yeah, and it was Henry's birthday, her fiance, on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we kept trying to schedule to get together.
And it wasn't working.
It wasn't working. So we're here a day early. I don't know if this is going to be up. We're doing it on Saturday right now. But it should be up either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we have, like I promised, we have a special where we're going to try and go an hour tonight. I know we've been going 40 minutes every week anyway.
But you get an extra 20 minutes this week.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yay!
We're really spoiling people this week.
I mean, I guess, if anybody's even listening.
Sure.
I mean, at this point, it's just for fun. Yeah.
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 I mean, we love those who listen.
Yeah,
Hey.
we love who's listening to us right now.
This is for us.
Yeah, this is for us. I don't actually know if we ever explained why we did this.
I don't think we did.
So the biggest reason that we do this is we both work archival jobs for our day job, and while we love archives, we each have 3 years. I have 3 years. You have 2 years, right?
Yeah, I have 2 years.
Experience in it. We worked in archives for most of our college experience, but it's not really where our passion lies.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Yeah.
That's a really fair thing to say.
We both have specializations that we wanted to explore more, and that's kind of what we're doing with this.
Yeah, since we both got to choose our topics for our thesis, we haven't had time since we graduated to actually research what we wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
We were so caught up in work.
Yeah. So this just kind of keeps us on track for things, which is kind of actually why I was scared with this week. I'm like, I hope we don't fall off the grid and don't do this anymore.
Yeah, I know.
I would have been so disappointed in us. I would be really disappointed in myself. I wouldn't have blamed you at all, because I was just sick the entire time, and I'm like, I don't want to do it tonight. But
we got that motivation going.
Yeah, we got that motivation going, thank God. But yeah, so I guess back on to our main topic is this week we have medical.
Yes.
And I kind of want to preface, okay, you know more about this literary shit than I do. But I kind of want to preface here that we're not medical professionals.
Not at all.
And any extent of the imagination. If you want a medical professional talking to you, there's plenty of other podcasts for that. I highly recommend Sawbones, which is done by...
We've listened to that.
Yeah, we've listened to that before. I listen to it religiously at this point. Honestly, anything by the McElroy brothers and their wives, they're just fucking amazing. Anything on the Maximum Fun Network. But that's throwing my coins at something else. So yeah, we're not medical experts. We're not really doing medical stuff.
Just medical history.
Yeah, a little bit of medical history. And I actually wanted to open up the floor this week for a bit of discussion on my part.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Let's do it.
I really want to... I'm going to go through my first part of my topic. And then I'm going to kind of open it up for, recent events and how this might play into things.
Very cool.
With healthcare going the way it is, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, God. So what I decided to do my portion on this week is the phrase, first do no harm.
Okay.
Yeah. So do no harm is the translated phrase from Latin, primum non nocere.
Okay.
I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But, so this is a part of what people believe to be the Hippocratic Oath, and it's not actually part of the Hippocratic Oath. That doctors take as part of becoming a doctor, and actually doctors don't take this oath anymore.
Oh, shit.
Well, some of them do. Some places require them to. Some places don't. Some places have them take another oath. So this isn't exactly it. And Hippocrates, the person that it's named after, because the philosopher, he wrote these things.
Right.
It's not in the oath at all that he wrote, the Hippocratic Oath. It's not in there. And it gets confused because there's wording in it that go, like, there's this passage from it that's like, I will follow that system of regimen which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. So there's phrasing like that when the actual phrase, do no harm, comes from Of the Epidemics, which is also by him. And that phrase goes, the physician must be able to tell the antecedents, know the present, and foretell the future, must mediate these things, and have two special objects in view with regard to the disease, namely to do good or to do no harm. So, very poetic, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I really love the phrase, and I kind of wanted to get into this. I have a little more history on it, just a little bit more, as to how it got to be part of the doctor's. Well, I'll go into it right now, since we're already there. So, of course, Hippocrates is way, way in the past at this point.
Yeah.
So people are kind of like, well, how did it come back? Well, there's a lot of journals out there that try to date when it was brought back into the current physician's vocabulary and phrase book, I guess you could say. So the specific expression, even more distinctive, associated from its Latin phrase, it was attributed to Thomas Sydenham, who was 1624 to 1689, lived then. And that was in a book by Thomas Inman, his book, Foundation for a New Theory and Practice of Medicine. So it's actually attributed to this Thomas Sydenham guy by another Thomas. A lot of Thomases.
Oh,
so it relates back to Hippocrates, and so I can't say no one knows for sure, but it's been attributed to a few people. And I mean, do no harm is a phrase that can be attributed to a lot of things, or like put onto. But especially you want your doctor to be like, do no harm.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go through this one with, I could have done a whole lot of things for death and tragedy and dark tourism on this front. I mean, there's so many things that you could have done, which is, I mean, we could have gone back to Jack the Ripper because people thought, I mean, there's been so many serial killers where people are like, this guy has to have medical training because he's like sliced this person up in just a specific way. Like, you have the Black Dahlia murder that was like that. You have Jack the Ripper with the uterus is being cut out. You have all of these killers that have potentially had medical training.
Yeah.
And there's also, I actually considered it as well, and I might do this for another topic later on, the practice of grave digging and cadavers.
That's a good one.
I'm trying to avoid, though, there is a whole slew of podcasts that that I listen to that do some of these topics. So if I hear one, I'm like, well, I can't talk about that now. Or if I have to or if I want to talk about it, I have to go in a different direction.
Right.
So there's a whole lot of things. But the reason that I wanted to talk about do no harm is because it is one of those phrases that gets used in media quite often for doctors and to add a horror element to things. Like there's and I want to preface this again. I'm prefacing a whole lot of things today.
That's okay.
But I want to preface this with, I don't support any media that portrays a horror aspect as somebody with a mental illness.
Yes.
Because people with mental illnesses are more likely to be the victim rather than the perpetrator. And there's a lot of media going around right now. There's one specific movie I'm not going to mention right now. Well, you know what? I will. Split. Don't go see Split. Please don't go see it. There's a lot of stigma around mental illnesses. And I don't think that anybody should be treated that way. As if they're some sort of scary monster, because they're not. They're just another person and their brain fires off a different way. Because as I'm going into this now, Do No Harm is the name of a television drama where a mental illness is used as a kind of horror subplot where the doctor has like a psychotic ugh, I'm gonna say psychotic, alternate personality. And I'm like, that's
That's
no.
not even right.
That's not right at all. But the other two pieces of media that I wanted to talk about with the Do No Harm, it's only a brief thing. This is a little antidote. The first encounter I had with this phrase, which is probably why it's so tainted in horror and spookiness for me, and death, is my first run-in with the phrase was in BioShock.
Okay.
Which is...
It's a video game, that's all I know.
Yeah.
Henry talks about it sometimes.
Yeah, I love horror video games. I really do. And I didn't really anticipate BioShock being horror when I first played it, but there's an enemy, one of the main villains. Well, he's not really a main villain, but he's like one of the bigger bosses you first encounter, Dr. Steinman, who when you enter his medical facility, and the entire world of BioShock's like beaten down and nobody's like trapped by their own morality. Like the entire basis for the world is like the main guy thinks that no one should be, or the brilliant shouldn't be hindered by the laws of man / morals and stuff like that. So they've basically let this doctor fucking run free. And so it is horror. So this place is kind of abandoned. People are like, not zombies, but they're like genetically mutated and kind of rabid on their own. So this doctor, Dr. Steinman, the first thing you see when you enter his thing is "Do no harm" written in blood on the floor. I think it was on the floor. I don't know if it was on the wall. Yeah, it is very poetic in a way. And the second run-in I have with it, which is a little goofier, is in the video game Team Fortress 2. The medic character has a melee weapon that is a fucking bust of Hippocrates.
I love that.
And it's called Do No Harm. But,
hilarious.
I know, it's beautiful.
That's everything.
But this kind of, the first one with Dr. Simon, this brings up kind of a point, and while I was doing my research, a few other doctors online had been talking about this too. Like, how far do you take Do No Harm? Because with that, you have this kind of, if you take it very literally, you can't do surgery. You can't, you can just consult people. But it gets to, if you take it as it is, without taking it too literally, it goes as far as to be, do no harm mischievously, like it said, in Of the Epidemics. Or no, that was actually the Hippocratic Oath. I'm messing up my notes here. But, don't do things with the purpose, malevolence. Don't do things malevolently. Don't hurt to intend to hurt.
Right.
Without intending to make them better. Because, I mean, surgery is a means to an end. You get sliced open to put things back together or to take something out that's hurting you.
Right.
So it's a necessary pain.
Yeah.
Which a lot of things, like, oh, it's always darkest before the dawn. It's means to an end.
All that bullshit.
Yeah, all those metaphors. So this comes to my discussion topic with it is, how are doctors going to move forward? And I mean, neither of us are doctors, so we can't really talk on it.
Right.
But how are doctors going to move forward into the healthcare system now that things are starting to be pulled apart? How do a lot of doctors, because I've actually been, I'm trash. I'm trash, and I watch bad Amazon Prime documentaries when I have the time. I watch them over Scientology. I watch all the bad ghost shows, bad murder documentaries, bad Nazi documentaries, which is unfortunately relevant now.
Right.
Unfortunately, really unfortunately. Hi, I also,
Preface disclaimer.
Disclaimer, I also very much believe in punching Nazis. Just putting that one out there. Fucking go ahead.
We're a pro-punching Nazi.
Pro-punching Nazi podcast. Literarily Dead has got your back on that one.
No flames.
No.
No flames.
Yeah.
Is that an outdated phrase now? 'Cause back when I was writing fan fiction, that was a thing I said.
I've never used that term ever. I know what it means though. It's no hate, right?
No, yeah.
Basically.
No flames, no hate.
No flames, no hate. But also with the abortion discussions nowadays, like, is abortion do no harm?
That's exactly what I was thinking about when you said this. Was like, abortion would go so well into this discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have to be on the doctor's belief of if you're harming the mother, or you harming
the baby,
the embryo, the fetus, the whatever,
the cells,
the parasite.
And actually ended up. The anecdote with the Amazon Prime documentaries is I had started watching a documentary about a doctor who was charged. I forget his name now, and I really wish I remembered it. And I remember, like, going 5 minutes into this documentary, and they're talking about this, and I'm like, are they just talking about abortion that's making him so bad? Or did he do something worse? I ended up quitting, like, 30 minutes into it, because I'm like, I support abortion. I support a woman's choice. Yeah, a woman's choice to decide. Anybody's choice to decide. Because not only women can get pregnant, but it is up to the discern of your doctor. Unfortunately, very unfortunately. I mean, you can go to a different doctor.
Yeah.
If there's one available to you, because unfortunately now too, it's actually not at the discernation. That's probably the wrong pronunciation. Okay. It's not up to your doctor, it's up to the state whether the doctor will let you do it. And it's really fucking unfortunate because the government should have no part in somebody's uterus.
I completely agree.
So it's really the state and the government taking away from this person who knows better, basically. And
the two people that know better.
Yeah, the two people who know better. The person who owns the body, and then the person who
operates on the body.
Operates on the body, who is asked to give advice on what to do about that body. So it's very much, I mean, it's not a tough call on my perspective. Get the fuck away from it at this point, especially to the government. But a lot of people would actually go and say that by performing an abortion, like, do no harm is broken because you're harming a new child.
You're harming a parasite.
You're harming a parasite. Thank you, Amanda. I love you. What I wanted to open up to, and I mean, I don't know if anybody's even going to comment on this, but
still, it's something that needs to be discussed.
It is something that very much needs to be discussed, especially as we move forward.
Again, no hate. If you are pro-lifer, tell us your opinion. Do not attack us.
Please.
We want to facilitate an open discussion.
Mm-hmm.
There is no hatred on either side. There's no resentment. It is just straight up.
Yeah.
Your opinion. Do not be an asshole about it. We're not trying to be an asshole about it. We're just giving you our opinion.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen there's been a lot of discussion this week, too, about good pro-life people who aren't just being like, you're murdering a baby, who are actually like, well, no, I care about everybody. I care about refugees. I care about you no matter what skin color you are, where you come from, who you love, things like that. And I'm like, yes, those are good people. But I also think that you need to support somebody's right to choose.
Right. Because then you have people, like, for my personal opinion on this whole shenanigans, is that I am pro-choice. I will fight to the death for a woman to be able to choose, because it's our body, so the government needs to get the fuck out of it. But I would never choose that for me.
Yeah.
I'm pro-choice, but I'm not anti-abortion. It's just, I could never make that choice for myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I feel like there's a difference between pro-life and pro-birth.
Yeah. There's
a difference between those.
But people kind of get them convoluted because, like, with major people on the liberal side, like, they do get skewed out of proportion.
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, I just don't like I guess I've had very early, interactions with people who were pro-life, and it very much left a very tainted taste in my mouth. Because I remember being in middle school, and I grew up in a small town in Kansas. So I was literally, we had PE, we had health 1 day a week. And that 1 day a week, we would go into a classroom and we would discuss how our bodies were changing, and we would learn about puberty and all that good shit that you learn about. I know, but it's so
important. 3 days a week.
You had it 3 days a week?
Well, if it was an E, if the week started with an A or a C, it was 3 times a week. If it was a B or a D, it was
2 times a week. Well, yeah. We only had it once a week, and I love those days because I'm a fatty and I hate fucking PE. I hated PE so much.
And gym was 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh, I hate
for 90-minute intervals. Like, it was fucking awful.
Oh, I'm
fucking
so sorry.
awful.
I'm pretty sure my gym was only like 60 minutes or something like that. But
it's terrible.
But yeah, no, small town in Kansas, 1 day a week. And we did have that discussion on birth control and abortion, and there were literally, I think there was like maybe 16, 17 girls in my class. I was the only one for pro-choice, and I was literally getting screamed at. It was like, you're murdering a baby. You're gonna choose murder? And I'm like, no. I don't want to have a fucking baby if I don't want to have it. Like, I don't want to force that on somebody. It's 9 months. 9 months. Give or take a few months. Give or take medical complications. Give or take birth defects. It's 9 months. It is still hell. It is still hell on your body. You get it. You have hell for those 9 months, and you have hell for a lot of times afterwards, with postpartum depression, with a lot of bodily issues that people don't even talk about, which is really upsetting, because, I mean, with the help of the internet, I've been learning more and more about pregnancy, because I do plan on having a child one day, whether I have it myself or I adopt.
Yeah.
But, like, learning about this is just, and it's incredible. I didn't even know how they perform the C-section, besides cutting your stomach open, until, like, I think, like, half a year ago. And it was fucking, like, it was amazing. I, like, heard that, and I'm like, I called my mom up right afterwards, and I'm like, Mom, I swear to God, you were so badass. As my mom had both me and my sister be a C-section. And, like, they cut you open and they take your, like, organs out to get to the womb.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so they put them on this table. And if somebody walks in, there's just, like, there's you, like, cut open, like, passed out on the fucking
here's my intestines.
And here's my intestines. Oh, here's the baby now, too.
Let me put your intestines back
in.
No problem.
And I'm just like...
That's not strange at all.
Yeah, I laughed so hard when I fucking heard that. I had so much respect for my mom, and I was just sitting there, I'm like, it's so cool. Honestly, like, medical procedures are, like, so advanced that you can just literally take somebody's organs out and then put them back in and they'll be fine. Like, a C-section is a commonplace thing. Like, I don't have statistics for this or anything, but there's gotta be, like, hundreds of C-sections performed every single day.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm just like...
I know.
Wow.
Medical marvels.
Wow, medical marvels indeed. And you get to, like, schedule it. Like, you can just be like, oh, hey, yeah, no, my baby's gonna be born, like, on Saturday at 2:05 p.m. Oh, yeah, that's when I scheduled the appointment. There's no, like, oh, no, the baby's coming and it's 2 weeks early, or, oh, no, the baby's not here yet. Oh, I guess I have to wait another week. I don't know when it's gonna come, but...
the early part can still happen, but...
Yeah.
But the late part won't happen.
Yeah.
Oh. I never really thought of that way. I mean, there's still so much that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like those random times that it pops up on my Tumblr feed about, like, it's a red flag, about things that people need to know. And it's just like, yeah, I never knew that. Like, I never knew what hell it was after the baby's born.
Oh, yeah.
And you're getting your period for the first time after that.
Yeah.
Like, I never realized, like, I was like, oh, yeah, it's just going to go back to normal. No, your body
No.
hasn't had a period for 9 months.
Your body's literally gonna fall out. Like, it's gonna fall out of your uterus and your vagina, and it's just gonna go.
I'm gonna have to disclaim this, like, so hard.
I know I am, but at this point, it's like, whatever.
Whatever. We already got through the abortion talk.
I know, we got through the abortion talk. Like, we're talking about abortion. I'm gonna have to disclaim this out of the wazoo anymore, because one of the hot topics right now, and a lot of people are very touchy on this subject. I'm pretty sure I'm still friends with people from high school who are very much pro-life, and I try to weed those people out, but they kind of weed back in eventually. I just don't want to force somebody to have a baby who doesn't want to have it.
Exactly.
For a multitude of reasons, because it's an unfortunate thing, but anybody can be raped, and anybody can go through those sort of things, and even if they're not pregnant via rape, they still need the right to decide, because it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Raising a baby is hard, and also giving it up for adoption is a long, thing too, I'm pretty sure, and adopting a baby is hard too. There's enough babies and adults,
There's enough kids in the foster care system.
Yeah, there's so many kids in the foster care system. I don't think ethically I could tell somebody have the baby and give it up for adoption. I don't think I could do that ethically. Because I wouldn't want that baby to go through not having a family right away and not being guaranteed, and then jumping around in the foster care system.
I just think about the conditions in foster care. Those aren't the best.
They aren't the best. I know there's some really good families out there, and we're not going to try and rag on that.
Oh, absolutely not.
And people who want to adopt are really... I think that the adoption system really needs to be worked through, too, because I think it's convoluted as fuck. But that's not going to happen anytime soon, I'm pretty sure, especially not with the new regime. And
the new regime.
I mean,
taking after me.
I literally have not heard. I've heard 2 people say administration. Trump is a regime. This entire administration is a regime, and as long as he's still in office, you won't hear me put president before his name.
Oh hell no. No. In this house, he's the Cheeto.
He's the Cheeto. That's beautiful.
And right. To any Trump supporters that are listening, I'm not apologizing for anything that was said.
I'm sorry. I know we've prefaced and apologized for a few things this episode, but that's not one of the things.
No, I will never apologize for my views.
Because honestly, I have nothing to say to Trump supporters. I have nothing to say, because honestly, anything that I say towards one, or you, I guess, depending on if you are listening, is you're against a lot of my friends and a lot of humans, just in general.
I don't necessarily that they're against them, but you voted for
someone
with that platform,
yeah,
and made it possible for that to happen.
Yeah.
You may not be against them, but you made it possible for this to happen.
Yes.
And I have no apology in any bone in my body.
There was a point at the beginning where I was kind of sympathetic, but the more I read and the more angry I got, and it's literally...
If you regret your choice, I'm totally down for that.
I mean, a little bit. I'm totally down for that, a little bit. Because at the same time, it's you kind of had to know. You should have done your research.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton was a bad choice, but Trump was worse.
Trump was so much worse, and we're seeing it now. It's literally the 8th day? The 8th day? Or the 9th day? Is it 29th?
I don't know. It's one of the first.
I don't fucking remember. Here, let me close
it. It's 20th.
It is the 28th. Yeah, he's literally been in office 8 days. And what has he done? He has made it
He's fucked everything.
He's fucked everything. He's fucked healthcare. He's fucked... he's going to be fucking LGBTQ rights, if he hasn't already.
That's going to be next.
He's fucked...
Our relations with Mexico?
Yeah, he's fucked our relations with Mexico.
And China?
He's also fucked the APL, protesters.
Community.
And didn't that even oil spill actually recently? A day ago? Yeah, it fucking happened. And it's look what we fucking did. You know what? Fuck off. Literally just fuck off. I can't even... And then this isn't even getting into the entire... there's a protest going on right now at JFK.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's going on right now because people have started getting detained who are coming in from Syria and all those other countries that he's basically banned immigration from.
And you notice, I saw it on Facebook, that all of the countries that he banned people from had no ties to 9/11.
Yeah, they have no ties to 9/11.
And every country that is not on the list, he has business ties to.
Yep.
Can you say conflict of interest?
He hasn't let go of his businesses yet.
Can you say impeach the president? Because I can.
I really want to fucking do it.
Well, impeach the dictator.
Dictator, yeah, at this point. Impeach, I don't fucking care. I don't feel bad for him at all.
Oh god.
Like, people are like, especially, not him, not his wife, no one. No one. People...
Bad for no one.
No one. No one. Well, that's enough politics for now. Well, that's my section. Do no harm, people, especially to you doctors out there, I guess.
And do no harm to your fellow citizen.
Yeah.
Just make that a motto.
Yeah, make it a
Follow
motto.
that shit.
Get it tattooed on your body. Do something.
Fucking will. Okay. Bust a what's his face?
Hippocrates.
Yeah.
Just gonna bust the Hippocrates right on your fucking ankle or some shit.
Why the fuck not? Underneath it will say do no harm. Constant reminder.
Constant reminder.
Yep. So it's my turn now.
Yeah, what do you got for me? What do you got for us?
Leonardo da Vinci.
What the fuck? Okay, of course you had Leonardo da Vinci on
Hey. Okay, for those who don't know, Leonardo da Vinci is literally my homeboy. I love Leonardo da Vinci with all my fucking heart. So, his real name, get ready.
What was it? Wait, Leonardo da Vinci wasn't his real name?
Well, technically it is, but technically it's not. His real name is Leonardo di Pero da Vinci.
Oh, okay.
He was born on April 15th, 1452, in the town of Vinci.
Oh.
Because he's Leonardo da Vinci.
There you go.
His real name is Leonardo born of Sir Pero of Vinci.
That's so fucking complicated.
So he was born to a peasant woman and a notary, Sir Piero.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a bastard child.
Of course.
Because why not? So he lived with his father because he could afford it. His mother couldn't. And his father married 4 times.
Oh my god.
The first 2 died young.
Oh.
Without giving him any children.
Okay.
His 3rd wife gave him 6 and then died. And his 4th wife gave him 6.
Oh, that's so many kids!
And then she died. So he had 12 half-siblings that all gave him grief when his father died for the estate. Because he was the illegitimate heir. But he was the oldest out of all of them.
Oh, so he got the estate?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because he's illegitimate. The youngest child born was when Leonardo was 40 years old. Like, that's how much of a gap is in here.
Oh, so there's not that much of a gap at all.
So, no, and Leo was 40. That's the youngest
40.
child.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when the youngest child was
I thought
born.
you said 4.
No, 40.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, that's fucking crazy.
That's really
That means the
fucking
guy
crazy.
is, like, in his 60s. The father must be, like, 60 or more. Because God knows how old he was.
Yeah, that was, and Leonardo was the first, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
But at 14, he began his apprenticeship with an artist in Florence. And then he bounced around for a few years to Rome and to Venice. So this guy's lucky, lives in Italy in the Renaissance. So he gets to go everywhere. But at 20 years old, he was qualified as a master in the Guild of St. Luke, which had artists and medical doctors.
Oh, well, yeah. Most artists back then doubled as physicians.
Yeah.
Because they were studied, or they were studious in the ways of the human anatomy.
Yeah, in Renaissance times, science and art went hand in hand.
Yeah.
If you were an artist, you studied anatomy. And if you were a doctor, you still studied art.
Man, if they had fucking paired art with math in my school, I would have done a whole lot better in math.
Me too. In 1476, these are just like some fun facts about him before we get into things.
Okay.
In 1476, he was arrested for sodomy with 3 other men in Florence, and the incident involved a male prostitute.
Of course.
Because homosexuality, of course, is completely illegal in Renaissance Italy, especially in Renaissance Florence, which is that time like the 2nd capital of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, but it's also like it's so dope because it's like it's the Renaissance. It's literally the artsiest time. Of course, it's gonna be the gayest time too.
Exactly. And what I love about this is even after his sodomy charge, he was never arrested for it. He was arrested for it. He was never charged with it. The Catholic Church is still like, hey, Leonardo, we need this done. And it's like,
well, yeah,
it's because of you that he was arrested. But whatever.
Yeah.
So after he was arrested, he lost the workshop that his father had bought for him.
Oh.
And then he bounced around to a lot of places, and there's evidence to suggest that he even went to live with the Medici family.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because
That doesn't surprise me at all.
he was buddies with them. With one of the sons.
Fucking Medici's being like the biggest art buyer in all of Italy.
Right. So he lived with them for a while. And he even lived in the Vatican for a while.
What?
With Pope Leo X. And this was during the time where Francis I of France, obviously, he took over Milan. And so Francis is having a meeting with the Pope, and Leonardo was invited to the meeting, and he meets King Francis, and of course, like, he lived in Milan for a while, so he's probably kind of pissed. They end up becoming best friends. So he's BFFs with the fucking King of France, and he does all this commission work for him, and he even brings the Mona Lisa to his palace to be like, hey, do you want to hang this in your room for a while?
Oh my god.
Like, stop it.
Leonardo Da Vinci just being fucking BFFs with literally all of the important people in history.
Like, can we talk about how he's completely humble beginnings, and then, bam!
Fucking
the
made
Pope,
it.
the king.
The Medici family.
The Medici
I'm
family.
sorry, like, the Medici family is like one of those things that gets pounded into your head that's like, oh hey, these people are important.
So, because I love this time in French history, because of Reign, that glorious TV show I watched about Mary Queen of Scots, I was like, okay, what is the connection with Francis I and Leonardo da Vinci? Francis I is the grandfather of Francis II, who is the king that was married to Mary Queen of Scots.
Okay.
And his mother was a Medici. Catherine de Medici.
Okay.
So I was trying to figure out that connection. And I found it, because it was very... And then I told you that during the Renaissance, art and science went hand in hand. And it's said that Leonardo's scientific mind and knowledge of anatomy allowed him to paint the masterpieces.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
I mean, we, when I was in art classes in high school, my teacher, literally how we learned was recreating his pieces.
Yeah.
Especially the sketches and stuff, because he was so fucking amazing at anatomy. Like, he knew his shit.
He really did. Oh, and I should preface that when he was living in the Vatican, that's when Michelangelo and Raphael were active within the Vatican, and everyone knows, like, the famous rivalry between Raphael and Leonardo da Vinci. No, Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, because Michelangelo was, like, really his only competition.
Yeah.
Raphael was good, but he wasn't Michelangelo.
Yeah.
But he was no Leonardo da Vinci either. I am a strict Da Vinci girl.
Oh, Michelangelo arguably did not have that great of anatomy, especially when it came to the female figure.
Yeah.
Or, well, yeah, the female figure. And it was, because it's like, how do you draw, that was one of the biggest jokes ever. It was just like, how do you draw a woman, quote unquote, by Michelangelo was muscles with two pairs on the chest. And that was literally it. Especially, I mean, if you look at the ceiling of the,
Sistine Chapel?
Sistine Chapel.
Which I've seen in person and it's beautiful.
What? You've seen it in person? I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, none of those, I mean, everybody's pretty muscular, and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci knew
They're
how.
beautiful and they're wonderful.
Yeah.
So, before his death, he made his pupil, his name was, like, Mezzi or something. He was his favorite student. And people think that there was a sexual relationship going on between the two. But Leonardo left everything to this pupil because he didn't have children of his own. So he left his journals and notebooks to him to be published after his death. But that was never done. And the journals and the notebooks and all his sketches were dispersed. And so there's a few collections of them. The first is in the Royal Collection at Windsor Castle. They have one. There's notebooks at the Louvre, the National Library of Spain, the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Biblioteca Ambrosiana in Milan, and the British Library. The only notebook in private hands belongs to Bill Gates. And I think I remember when he bought that, it became like big news that Bill Gates bought a Da Vinci notebook.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that. That's so fucking huge.
Yeah.
I wish I was that rich to fucking just buy. I mean, if I was that rich, I'd open a museum myself. But
That's true.
actually, I wouldn't open a museum myself. I'd throw it at an already existing museum because
There you
God
go.
knows it's hard to start one on your own.
That's true. So the one in the Royal Collection is really interesting. It's called the Arundel Codex. Arundel was after the Earl of Arundel who found the codex and put it into his collection. It's written from right to left, which is a Da Vinci signature, right to left and backwards. So it's the mirror writing. So it's only legible in the mirror.
Oh my god.
And
fucking extra Da Vinci. Extra as fuck.
What he fucking does.
I know, but like, holy shit.
Like, this has nothing to do with medical, this is just fucking cool. So he was one of the first people to question the biblical flood.
Oh, really?
Like, okay.
God bless.
So he studied fossils from the sea and fossils from the mountaintops. And he observed
Observed. You got it.
Valleys and canyons, and came to the conclusion that it would have taken longer than 40 days for the valleys to happen, and that the fossils wouldn't be able to be deposited in that short amount of time.
Yeah.
So he was the first one to like come up with a scientific argument over it.
Didn't the Pope just say that evolution was right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's a news. I mean, obviously, we're filling our fucking podcast now, not with just facts, but with like, oh hey, I heard this thing. But I'm pretty sure that the recent, the present Pope said that evolution.
Pope.
I mean, he's not perfect, but he's pretty good.
He's perfect.
Compared to the last one, he looks like a goddamn saint. Compared to all the last ones, but yeah, he said God's not a wizard with a magic wand, and that sometimes science, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting.
Oh, Francis. Woo! Alright. And then, what was it? That was it. Oh, and then, what's really fucking cool about this, and I found this doing my research on the actual medical stuff that we're going to get into.
Yeah.
The Royal Collection Trust, which is in charge of the Royal Collection, sponsored a photo collection of 30 photographs taken by MRI, and they were put next to Da Vinci's sketches, and it was in order to show the accuracy of Da Vinci's anatomy hundreds of years before the technology.
Yeah.
And they are spot on. Like, I saw some of these, and it's amazing how spot on he was.
How did he fucking, like, did he have cadavers to practice on?
I will get there in just a minute.
Yeah!
There were, or are, over 13,000 pages of notes, sketches, and drawings that he did. He actually dissected 30 corpses.
Oh my gosh.
Diseased and healthy, from 1510 to 1511. But a lot of people, I've heard a lot of contradicting things. I've heard that he was grave robber, and that he illegally obtained these corpses. But all the sources I found told me that he had permission and was working in hospitals.
Oh.
And was working with their cadavers.
That's good.
He worked with healthy and diseased men and women, old and young. So one of his quotes that I really liked, he said, "To obtain a true and perfect knowledge," and he's talking about the vascular system, "I have dissected more than 10 human bodies, destroying all the other members, and removing the very minutest particles of the flesh by which these veins are surrounded. And as one single body would not last so long, since it was necessary to proceed with several bodies by degrees, until I came to an end and had a complete knowledge. This I repeated twice to learn the differences." So he's doing this completely scientifically.
Yeah.
He's doing trial and error. He's the first person to provide accurate drawings and explanations since, like, Plato and Aristotle.
Oh my god.
But they only gave, like, kind of an explanation of how these things work, but they never gave diagrams like Leonardo did. So, like I said, he planned on publishing this. And it was supposed to have 200 drawings of the anatomy. And the book was actually published 160 years later, after his death, in 1680. It was called The Treatise on Painting. And it was all his diagrams and how you use that anatomy in order to make realistic paintings.
Oh my gosh.
So it wasn't like a medical textbook. It was a painting textbook. But one of the most important things he did was the Vitruvian Man. Everyone knows that famous painting. And that shows the golden ratio. And it's a law on any human without a genetic deformity or any kind of deformity. It's like a perfectly proportioned body.
Yeah.
And I think that some of that shit is like so cool.
Yeah.
Like the distance from your elbow to your hand is the same as like your knee to your thigh or something. I don't know. It's very strange, but it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
There's like 45 laws for the golden ratio.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing. So he always intended his notebooks to be used for medical practice
Mm-hmm.
instead of painting practice. But it didn't have an impact until the 1900s when his notebooks were rediscovered in 1965.
Oh my god.
And his sketches and notes led to many modern inventions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that he had, like, the first airplane sketches and all that great shit and all the mechanical stuff. But he had a lot of medical inventions, too.
Mm-hmm.
The first is the surgical robot.
What?
Right. I read that and I had to read it a few times to read it right. So, it's one of Da Vinci's most famous robot sketches.
Mm-hmm.
In 2002, a prototype was actually made using his sketches. It was called the Robotic Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so successful, and it proved that Da Vinci had a working knowledge on human joints and was able to apply it to mechanical structure.
Oh my god.
So they made the prototype. It totally works, and it's actually, this prototype is used.
Mm-hmm.
This machine is used to surgically operate on people, like today, and it's called the Leonardo robot.
Is that the thing that, like, do you have an explanation for it?
I don't.
Okay.
Because I knew it was going to be so over my head. But you might recognize it.
Yeah, I feel like I have a,
That is not it.
for those listening, we Googled it, and we just came up upon
It's like a gremlin.
yeah, it looks like a fucking gremlin.
What the fuck is that?
Just do Leonardo medical robot.
Surgical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
right.
that's totally what I expected. So it's
Yeah.
like a little thing with, like, arms sticking out of it, and the doctor helps it along.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. He also had the first prototype for contact lenses.
What?
He was the first one to come up with the idea back in 1508. Like, stop. How cool is this?
Oh my god.
I don't have much more except that he sketched the first conceptual model
Mhm.
of contact lenses because he had sketches of anatomy drawn on eye lenses. This guy is so cool.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest things about history to me is how common it is where we've lost technology along the way. We've, like, things like this go missing for hundreds of years. And I'm, like, sitting here thinking, like, if somebody had those notebooks between the time that they were lost when he died and the time in the 1960s, like, that could have gotten so many people through the centuries in between.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
we could have been so much further down the line if somebody just kept track of Leonardo da Vinci's fucking sketches. Like, he was so ahead of his time, but he could have been his time.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking amazing to me, and sad, actually.
So the Rochester Museum and Science Center in 2015 had Leonardo da Vinci the Genius exhibit. And so I got to do this paper on that exhibit for Nystrom's class.
Uh-huh.
And they had a whole section that was just blown up pages of his sketches, of his anatomical sketches.
That's all you need for an exhibit on him.
And it was just beautiful.
Yeah.
He's the first person to show anatomically what sex looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the first one to show what is the correct word, like a pregnancy looks like,
Yeah.
with a cross section of the womb and what the baby looks like.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing stuff.
Goodness.
And the exhibit also had a whole room on the Mona Lisa and the color imaging that they did in order to see what the original would have looked like when he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to see the original versus what it looks like today and how it's deteriorated and all the discoloration. It was just gorgeous.
Oh,
it was literally like a religious experience. No, I'm not even kidding, because this thing was like, the Mona Lisa with the original was ceiling to floor.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this beautiful music going on. And it was like this, you couldn't see what was going to be in front of you until you walked through the door.
Oh my goodness.
And then when I walked through the door, the music had started playing again. And it was like this angelic choir. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. So I'm literally walking through this room and this choir starts playing because it's on a motion sensor.
Oh my god.
And it was literally a religious experience. I almost died. I was face to face
Fucking
with
perfect.
a 12-foot Mona Lisa. You can't get any better than that.
I wish I could have seen it.
So, Leonardo da Vinci's cool. That's the moral of my
moral
story.
of the story. Oh my goodness.
He's my homeboy. I love Leonardo da Vinci. If I can meet any people in history, Leonardo da Vinci would be one of them.
Leonardo da Vinci would definitely be one of them.
And then Nefertiti would be another one.
Yeah? Oh, of course, for you.
Yeah. I don't know who my third would be.
I think Nikola Tesla would be one of mine.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Mary Curie.
I don't know who that is.
She's a scientist.
Oh.
She's discovered a lot of very important things. It's because of the patriarchy that we don't know who she is.
I know. I'm so aware of it.
I would also really love to meet Mary Shelley. Like,
she's
really
pretty cool.
I would love to take tips from her, just life in general.
Just like she's kind of badass.
She's
I'm
really
not
fucking
even
badass. But okay. So what's our topic for next week?
We never looked.
We never looked. Well, let's decide one then. Well, we've already done royalty.
Yeah. And death in the family.
We've done death in the family.
We can't do winter again.
We can't do winter again, of
Not
course.
till next winter.
We still have another week before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we are 11. So I should figure that out.
Yeah, I do too.
Music is going to be in April.
Music's in April.
Spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alerts, but everybody's gonna forget anyway unless they're listening to this all in one shot.
That's true.
How? Well, we already did homemaking.
Yep. That's a good episode.
It was a good episode because I did the Winchester house on that one. So how we do burial? Burial, death practices.
Death practices. I think that's what's next anyway.
Actually, really? Okay.
I think so.
Well,
we'll check.
All right. So next
death
week
practices.
is death practices.
That's cool with me.
And we will definitely be on time. We will be on Sunday. We are
not
also,
tomorrow Sunday meeting, today Sunday meeting, whenever this is supposed to start.
Yeah. So
meeting.
yeah, no.
The first Sunday in February.
Yeah, the first Sunday in February. That
Cool.
would be the 5th. February 5th is when
February 5th.
Yeah, the next episode's going out. All right. So we thank you for sticking with us. Well, we didn't make it quite to an hour, but we always go over
What are we
anyway.
at?
We're at 54 minutes.
We're close enough.
Yeah.
Not sorry for the political talk.
I know, it's kind of a heated debate right now, so. But, all right. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.